Hi, everybody. I want to touch base again regarding the evaluations assignment. Um, if you've had the opportunity to look in this and read things over, you can see that you're responsible for conducting two evaluation cycles within the assignments that are going to be utilized to assist you in your evaluation reflective essay. Within this module, you'll notice that there's a third grade and an eighth grade lesson that you'll watch. Also, there are some pre-conferences and post-conferences that you should evaluate as well. And it's just good modeling. These videos are the exact same videos or videos like these that we utilize as principals and assistant principals to be re-credentialed every so many years. They call it recalibration to continue our certifications to be able to evaluate others. So you'll utilize these videos kind of in the same fashion. One of the things it requests of you with the evaluation cycles, you're going to utilize a couple items. The first piece is scripting the lessons. I'm a big believer in scripting. When I go into a classroom, I open up a Google Doc and I begin typing immediately. I'm definitely listening for key phrases, key vocabulary. I'm observing what's going on around the classroom amongst students. I evaluate their engagement levels. The whole time, though, I am typing rapidly, trying to catch as much as I can that comes out of the teacher's mouth, quite frankly. And some things that will be stated, I might linger on that and then pick up where I go. But by the end of the lesson, I pretty much have a transcript with other various observations along the way. Now, personally, I believe in strong transparency. I take that document and typically even before I leave the room, I share it with that teacher, my straight notes without any objectivity in it. And I allow them the ability to make comments within that document leading up to our post conference. So that's my approach. I think if you go through and you watch these and you type that out and you do it that way, what it then allows you to do is then utilize your notes and your transcript essentially and compare it to the rubric. And that's how I like to do it, because then you take that information, you're making a comparison to the standards within the rubric, and then it allows you to really then begin vetting out strengths and weaknesses. So my expectation for this, and really my advice if you're doing evaluations period, is not to have the rubric opened trying to type in each little thing, because when you're doing that, you're missing a lot of what's going on in the classroom between students, between the interactions between the teacher and the students, just the overall environment, things that are hung on the walls, every little tiny thing. If you're sitting there trying to fiddle with the rubric and find which thing matches with which, and we're making sure we connect to the right terminology and verbiage within that lesson in the moment, you kind of lose out on the moment. So try to maintain being in the moment and use your time after the fact to reflect, analyze, and assign appropriately. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of go through that same process. You're going to evaluate. You're going to evaluate the rubric and then share what you felt as identified strengths and weaknesses based on evidence you found within the lesson tied to said rubric. So currently, that's obviously how we approach OTES 1.0. OTES 1.0 is soon to be OTES 2.0. In some districts, it's already made that transition. Some districts have had the opportunity to spend some time playing with that. What can happen, for example, that's what's going to happen in my district, whereas next year the opportunity is there to transition to OTES 2.0. We're actually in the midst of a negotiated contract. So next year is year 3 of our negotiated contract, and we will continue to utilize OTES 1.0 through the lifespan of that contract. So we actually will not start OTES 2.0 next year. We'll pick it up the following year. So depending on where you're at in your school, actually some of you I noticed are from Tennessee, Florida. I love having us have that variety, people from different regions. I personally taught in Georgia for several years. It does look a little bit different depending on the region you're at in our country. So it'll be really neat to kind of see how you approach this and the lens you bring to the evaluation process based on what the negotiated contracts and rules within the state are. But here in Ohio, the lens we're kind of currently viewing things through will be transitioning to that OTES 2.0. To help you get familiar with that, although I know some of you have already had some experience with it, there is a discussion post that I'd like you to complete related to that. So this doesn't have to be anything major. A bullet to compare, contrast, and some thoughts on the similarities and differences between the two items, just to kind of give you a general idea of what is going to be into the future. But for right now, we're going to stick with this OTES 1.0 to conduct this assignment under. Now, at the end of the day, the final piece is an evaluation reflective essay. This reflective essay is outlined within this document, what the expectations are. And if you look through here, there's various standards. These standards are aligned to the rubric that I shared with you. Right here. So these standards are assigned to the various areas within the rubric, and this is what I'll be utilizing to grade that assignment. If I go back, I also provided you with an example of what I felt is a high quality piece of work written in APA format and broken down like this. I spoke in my very first video about the importance of using APA, using headings, subheadings. This is an example of a beautiful job of what that should look like. It really gets to the point, allows the reader to see what they're saying and talking about, and also utilizes research-based information within that product. Again, I'll go back to the fact that that's what all these modules are here for, is for you to conduct the readings and to see how you're utilizing that information within the final products that I'm requesting in this course. So I just wanted to kind of clarify any things. If you still have any questions related to this assignment, please feel free to email me, and take care and have a good day.